How are we doing, YouTube? We're going to continue the AI series. So today, another open AI software is text to images. We've already used Chat-GPT, which is using prompts to receive back text, which we've also seen can be formatted in various ways. And I am going to talk a few more points about GPT before I jump into DALL-E2, but we are going to start moving into things like text to image, text to video, using AI to produce avatars, audio, all sorts of things. But there is a few things to cover before we do that. So the first one is, if I jump over here to ChatGPT today, you'll notice at the bottom of my screen that I have something, hopefully you'll see it, that says web access. And so if you'll recall from the last video, ChatGPT is trained up to September 2021. And so anything that takes place after that, it can be a bit wonky for ChatGPT to provide accuracy in certain situations. Again, one could be for like a restaurant, right? Maybe it's closed down in 2022, but ChatGPT doesn't know that because in 2021 it was still open. So one of the ways that we can get around that, or just give ChatGPT extended capabilities, which I don't want to spend time going into today, it should be pretty obvious by this point, is by a web extension, which is this ChatGPT with internet access. So if you go to the Chrome Web Store and you type in this with ChatGPT, it should come up. And so basically what this does is this gives ChatGPT access to the modern web, to the web as it is today. And so when that's running, as I have it running now, then you see here now I can access the web. I can turn it off if I want. So when I turn it off, it's just like it has been every time we used it before. But when I turn it on, then you can see that I can do things such as decide how many results I want ChatGPT to reference before it gives me the answer. I can select the time as far as when I want it to be referencing things, regions, so forth and so on. So I would strongly recommend that you go ahead and go to get this extension set up so that you can give ChatGPT access to the web and therefore have access to real-time data, which of course is going to drastically increase your already pretty extensive abilities with ChatGPT. The other extension that I wanted to recommend that you get, depending, it really does depend. In my situation with Ashley Oosthuizen, all of these videos are produced for in order to bring a voice to her ongoing misery, then it makes a lot of sense to have this extension, the YouTube summary with ChatGPT. Now, you may recall last time I tried, because I'm using ChatGPT 3.5, so if you use GPT-4, I keep saying all these acronyms, right? Then you have to pay $20. I'm using the free one, it's 3.5. And so you should recall that with the paid version, you could put in prompts up to 25,000 characters, I believe. But with the unpaid, you can't. And so what I did last time was something, I used this extension. Okay, I came over to a YouTube video, which was this one. And I basically wanted to get the transcript of it. So I shot a video, I uploaded it to YouTube, and then because I have this extension, I can click this button and it gives me all of the transcript without me having to do the closed caption or anything like that. So I can copy that, and then you may recall that when I tried to put that into ChatGPT, it gave me it's just too long. And so, there's workarounds. And one of the workarounds that I found for something like that, I was like, okay, well, what I could do is I could come back to this video and I could just copy chunks of it, chunks that I know are probably not going to be too long. So I get a chunk, and then what I did is I came over and I opened up a Word document and I pasted it in. So you can see I pasted a chunk that went down to 1449, and then I went went back here, I did another chunk, I put it in another document, I went back, I did another chunk, the last chunk, and I put it in the last document. So I had 3 documents like this, right? And they all have now the complete description from the YouTube video. So then what I did is I could come over here and I could say, you know, you are a YouTube and SEO expert. I am going to input the description from a video using 3 links, and I want you to produce an optimized SEO title and description that is a minimum of 2,500 characters and which include high value and volume keywords throughout. The links are provided inside of the brackets. Okay, then my bracket, and then I come over here and I start to get my links. So I copy my link, I come back over, and down here I put my first link, and I will do the link provided inside the brackets. Each link is separated by a comma, just to make sure there's no ambiguity. Come back here, okay, now I'll get the second document, get that link, copy that, come back over here, put that right there, comma, now I need my last link, I come back, and I get my final link. To copy that, that's done, come back over here, and we have figured out a workaround that allows you to use ChatGPT in order to do what I ask it to do, which before it wouldn't allow for me to have that happen. So, you know, there's workarounds that allow for you to do this. And again, I might need to go back and rework this prompt. I'm not actually paying too much attention to what's happening. But nevertheless, there are ways for you to get around things if you just think about it. And so that was something that I wanted to show you. And then I just wanted to give a few more ideas in case you didn't have enough already. And then we can move on to the text to image, which is going to be DALL-E2 and everything that comes after that. And so just a few last ideas of things that you can do. I'm not really going to show you because there's already enough to do with the image stuff, but you can reorganize data, right? You can swap complex terms. So if something is hard to understand, you can paste it inside and ask Chat-GPT to give it to you in simpler to understand terms. It can proofread, it can review and offer improvements for articles. It can create essay questions. It can create tests, as we've already said, articles, blogs, essays. You can write college level essays on binary fission. You can write articles, you know, on, let's just do one. Write an article for a seafaring magazine that is 1,000 words about analogous sailing techniques such as reckoning. I'm not going to worry about spelling. Okay, let's just see what we get. Let's scroll down here. And then there we go. So it's even looked like it was giving me some links. Which yeah, it's even giving, wow, look, it's even giving me annotated links. That is pretty cool. Just clickable, right? So it starts talking about the Vikings, celestial navigation. Again, it's providing links. I mean, so it's just a really, really amazing piece of technology. It's extremely powerful. What else? What else can you do? Create ads for online products, right? Write me a copy for an Amazon ad to sell blah, blah, blah. My target audience is whatever. And then you can have ads that are produced for you in seconds. Scripts, again, you can have SEO, responses to people, to emails. What else do we have? You can create songs. Something that's really useful. Something that's really useful is you can create resumes and cover letters. So that saves a ton of time because maybe you don't want to always have to write a cover letter for every single different job. And so something that you could do is go to a job description and you can copy and paste that into ChatGPT and ask it to write you a cover letter for that job based on that job's description. And then you can copy and paste in your resume or your curriculum vitae. And with those combined, you can just spit out cover letters that are really tailored to individual specific positions. It can help you with job searches. Of course, it can help you with job interviews. You can set up ChatGPT to be an interviewer for a specific job. Okay, I want you to be an interviewer for a marketing job. What kind of questions should I be prepared for an interview? There's really no limit as far as what you can do with that. So again, I don't want to just sit here and name off all sorts of things, but if you don't know how to fix something, you want to try to improve something around the home, there's just all sorts of things as far as what you can do. I don't want to continue to keep going through them because I feel like I've already gone through a lot and we want to spend some time on DALL-E. So that's what we'll look at now. So DALL-E is really cool because it allows for you, once you try, right? You click on try and you have to set up your account just like you did, but you already have one because you have GPT-4. And so you'll come over here and you'll have something like this, right? So this is really cool because basically, as you can see here, it gives you an example, an impressionist oil painting of sunflowers in a purple vase. And so we could go with that. We could, or we could go with something like, what do we even want to go with? I'm not even sure. A unicorn using a spell that outer space with with rainbows. Okay, so let's see. I'll just type it in. So here's something that you got for abstract pencil and watercolor art of a lonely robot holding a balloon. This reminds me of that old French movie. So look at this. Look at what we got here. A unicorn using a hula hoop in outer space with rainbows. I mean, it's not bad, right? It's not bad. I mean, that one's actually really good. That could certainly be like in a children's book or something, right? I mean, hello. I'm sorry, illustrators. Maybe not so good, a little weird, not terrible, you know? So again, and I just typed in a prompt without hardly any modifiers, which I'm gonna cover in here. And so you can see I only have 7 credits left. Okay, I actually have to be really careful because I want to show you guys. You can see I've already been playing around with things. So I'll show you a few. Right, so I did a blind Bahamian man walking along the beach painted in the style of Monet. I got this, which, you know, is really good, I think. And that one not so good, but then this one I was really intrigued with, just the way that it looks like he's just standing out on another layer. Now you will notice if you come in here to edit that you can do some other cool things, right? So you have this sort of circle that allows for you to erase things, which I'll show you, but I don't want to go too fast. I wanted to do, yes, I wanted to, you can zoom out or no, you can zoom in. And so if you zoom in, you can see like down at the hands and sort of things start to break down. It's not very good with faces. DALL-E's not so good with faces. And so there's ways that you can do really amazing things with DALL-E. And so I'll show you some of those now. but this is really good for a beginner. And it was trained on over 400 million images. So it's got a really large repertoire that can be utilized to do really amazing things. And so we will definitely take a look at some of that. But first, let me show you what you're going to want to get. You're going to want to get the DALL-E2. Oh my gosh, there's got to be a way to get back to the beginning. Yes. Okay. Goodness. I was like, oh my gosh. The prompt book. Okay. So this is basically gonna explain to you. It's going to explain to you how to do incredibly amazing things with DALL-E 2. So again, I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but I'm going to go through a good chunk of it just so you can see and understand how you're going to utilize this. But nothing that you're going to see in this is real. Okay. None of it. It's all made by DALL-E 2, which you now have access to. Okay, so we have the table of contents. You can see it goes really in depth, and we will start sort of going through a little quick. You can look at this on your own time, but again, all of this is produced by DALL-E 2. Okay, and so this is one thing you want to maybe look at, right? So the prompt can be up to 400 characters or less, and then it gives you some examples, and you can click on them without using my prompts or my credits. So I'll look at this one. A gray kitten standing on a pizza in outer space. The kitten is eating a piece of pizza. Pizza slices flying with aim. You can read. Okay. So we look at that. I click on this. Let's see what we get. Oh no. Let's try it again. Here we go. And this is what we get. So DALL-E 2 from the prompt, from inserting text. Understand. Do you understand? Well, okay, it's fine if you don't right now. I'll keep going. But this is pretty amazing, right? I mean, that's really good detail, I think. Maybe the eye's a little kind of weird right there if you really want to get pedantic, but otherwise, I think maybe the whiskers are a bit off, but still very amazing. I would say even mind-blowing. So super cool. Okay. Some other things I'll just sort of go through here quick and let you look, but yeah, you can have really long prompts. Okay, so this one very, very detailed or extremely short. This prompt was actually using emoticons, and an Octane 3D render. And this is what you got from the rocket ship, right? You got that. So pretty cool, pretty cool. I thought it was 400 million. Apparently it's 650 million. Maybe that's because it's the captions too. But anyway, it's really well trained. And so this is what you're going to want to go through so that you can understand how to utilize DALL-E 2 to do amazing things for you. To just open up incredibly new realms, right? And you have ChatGPT, and now you have DALL-E 2. And I'm going to show you a lot of other things too. I'm going to bring you into the future age. And so, yeah, this is something that you want to take a look at, is basically how you can use different words, different moods to affect the prompt, the output that you get from DALL-E, right? Because it all depends, just like ChatGPT, on your prompts. Your prompts are going to dictate your outputs. You can get all sorts of different things depending on the prompts that you look, from vapor waves to cyberpunks, okay? It does photography. This is a page that you want to pay attention to. So the way you describe things like framing, the framing of the picture or the image, right? Close up, far off. The film type, you can do context, year usage, lighting, lens, cameras. You can do specific cameras even in some of these prompts that you'll see. And so that is what allows for you to do things like you're seeing here, like extreme close-ups, medium shots, extreme long shots. And again, remember, all of this that you're looking at was generated by prompts, and you can see the prompts. Film still of an elderly black man playing chess, medium shot, mid shot, boom. That's what you get. I mean, if you're not amazed, then you are a hard person to please. You can change the positions. And I think this was actually really good for the faces. That's a really good, just to be producing that over the shoulder shot. I mean, that's very specific. And you're still able to accomplish that. Slow shutter speed, so you can get that sort of framing, the motion blur. I mean, come on, are you serious? It's just fisheye lens, really like macro lens. There's just no, it's like, what can you think of? Look at this lighting prompts. I mean, look, it's just, so there were some pages I wanted to show you. So 21, yeah, we got through there. So again, yeah, this is just all the different ways that you can prompt things. So you definitely want to go through here. I'm going to jump up to 42. 42, where you at? 42. 38, okay, 39. So yeah, you can do really all of this, DALL-E2. So art history, so this was cool. Look at this, right? You can do ancient Egyptian murals, okay, with like astronauts or Renaissance, or maybe that's a little, or right before the Renaissance, Roman frescoes and mosaics, like with with the sunglasses, modern art, that's definitely Renaissance. And so, you know, all the way up, right? Abstract, super cool. And so it's just 3D, right? So you can do 3D with DALL-E2. It's just really, there's no limit. And then, of course, it goes into the techniques. And so that's what I'm going to show you next. It's how to actually do some really cool stuff with that. But you'll want to go through here. Oh, yeah. So this is really cool. And I'll show you how to do this, where you can make these murals, right? Where you can basically create larger and larger and larger images and just keep outputting larger and larger images that are created by AI, which I'll show you before this ends. And so here are some examples of that, right? This mural that's 4096 by 2341 pixels. Just look at that. I mean, it's just so crazy. It's definitely an acid trip. Looking at, you know, I mean, that is really cool. And yeah, so you can combine, you can just do all sorts of things. So yeah, you can go variations, right? So you start with this and then you end up with this, and you can go the other way too. This was really cool. Look at this, right? Just look at this. It's pretty freaky. There was some, reminds me of a book of horror stories as a kid. Or this, right? You start with your kid's artwork that he brings you home, and you can go all the way to real life, realistic. I mean, it's just mind blowing. And then some showcases that they give you. If you haven't seen enough really cool stuff already, then it's just, again, this one. I mean, look at this. It's all of these. Do you know how much money they were paying people to do stuff like this? And now, I mean, you know, it's too bad. But so I'm going to show you some things before I end the video, but I also want to show you where we're going to be going to. So yeah, we're going to do DALL-E this time, but there's not going to be much else to show. It's all pretty much in this book, right? If you look at the book, once I just showed you the prompt book, it's going to have everything that you need to know. And so it's really easy. I'm going to show you in just a second how to do a few editing and to make big images and things like that. It's not much to it. And so that'll be cool. But otherwise, what we're going to start going into is I think next we'll do audio, but I do want to show you this thing called Runway. So Runway is even past DALL-E2. It's basically where you're able to do image to video, text to video, or even video to video. So you could put in an image. These are showing you examples, right? And this is using AI to generate all of this that you're looking at. So, I mean, just wow. So I'll show you how to use Runway, but that's not what we want to focus on today. So again, make sure you look at this prompt book, because this is going to show you everything that you want to know. It's got everything in here so that you can really do some cool stuff with DALL-E2. Okay. And so I don't have a lot of credits left, so I have to be careful. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you. Let's see if we can find another image that we want to build onto. So yeah, let's do, what was this one? I didn't like that one. So I think actually our unicorn image was pretty cool. This one is like, this is like really, really good. It's, you know, it's totally something that could totally be good professional. So let's look at this. Okay, so we go into edit. All right. So again, I just put in prompts. Right? And then I hit generate. And because I haven't subscribed yet, I'm actually on the other one. So all of these, if you use them a lot, they're going to charge you money. And so some of them I do use, some of them I don't. This is one that I don't, because there's ones that are better, but this is still really good, and it's great for beginners just to sort of see. And again, if you spend the time to actually really learn how to do the prompts and everything, then you can produce really amazing things, as we've clearly seen. but nevertheless, I am interested in some other stuff, so I'll show you what I do, but for today, we'll just use what we have. And so we go into the edit, as you can see. Oh, and so before I do that, I'm not going to click it because it'll cost me. But let's say I like this, but I want to get some other options. And what you can do is you can just hit this variations button, and it'll give you more variations of this. It'll take this, run it through the AI algorithm, and it will give you 4 more choices. So that's what the variation button does. You can save, right? You can share. So if you like it, that's another cool thing about DALL-E 2. It's like if you like the image, you can use it. You can use whatever you produced. So, there were some like epic electronic dance party at nighttime inside of a wooden building next to the ocean with the entire crowd dancing wildly. I didn't really put enough about the type of shot, like the angle or the camera or things like that. But still, I mean, that's really impressive that you can just produce things like that. And so, yeah, let's build off onto let's let's build off onto this one. This one looks pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, let's edit this. I think I've covered everything else. So we come in here, and as you see at the bottom, we have an eraser, and we have an add generation frame, and we have upload image. So that is something you could do. You could upload images. Okay, let's do one thing at a time. If I want this circle to be bigger or smaller, again, it should be pretty self-explanatory. Over here, I can do that. You can zoom in and out, as I already showed. And so let's see what this can do. So let's actually let's not do that yet. Let's add. Okay, so what am I doing? I can click the eraser, but I actually don't really want to erase anything in this picture. What I want to do is I want to start extending this picture out to make a mural like you saw in the end of this book somewhere. Where was it? Those murals at? Yeah, like this stuff. Okay, so how can you make stuff like this? It's really simple. It's so simple. It's crazy. Okay, so I come over here, and what I want to do is I want to extend my image. So I come here where it says add generation frame, because that's what's happening. This frame that you can see here is where an image is going to be generated. And so what I want to do is I don't want to go completely off, because if I go over here and I put the generation frame, then you'll see, so let me do it right here. Okay, so I put the frame down here. Now look, the prompt comes back up. And so now what'll happen is I can get rid of this prompt, and I can put another prompt in. And what the AI will do is it will use what it can see. So it can see this part of the image, right? It will use what it can see and what you put in to build on to the previous image. Okay, so I don't even know what I want to say. We'll say epic electronic dance party at night time inside of a wooded building next to the ocean. I don't even really know what's going to happen if I delete the whole. But let's just try it, and let's just say wooden deck filled with people dancing, full moon for the ocean. Okay, and let's generate. And so what you'll see is now I'm going to have added inside of here, once it's finished loading, a bigger image. And really, there's no limit. You can just continue to add generation frames as big as you want. So look at that. Okay. I have the option to accept or cancel, but I don't only have that option. I have this one, which is pretty cool. Look at that. I mean, I feel like that's pretty seamless. Are you impressed yet? Are you impressed? Come on. This one, which is probably, the moon doesn't look so realistic, but the crowd looks cool. This one, okay. And so, I think that one is pretty unrealistic, but also pretty cool. So I'll accept that. And so now my picture is bigger. But now let's say that I don't like part of it. Let's say I don't actually like this moon. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to erase this moon. Okay, right? And now look what will happen. So I erase that, and now I have the opportunity to prompt again. And whatever I put in this prompt is what's going to show up in here. So let's say Let's bring our unicorn back, right? Let's say unicorn hula being with rainbows around. Okay, that's just holly hooping. Ooh, ooh, ooly, ooly, is that right? Ooly hooping? I don't know. Anyway, let's go with it. Let's see what happens. Do-do-do. Anyway, what you can clearly see is that you now have unlimited capabilities to produce really amazing works of art that can be realistic, that can be any style that you can think of, and that you can build onto and make really amazing things. So maybe that's not so amazing because it's amazing that I have just edited this photo like that. Like that. I mean, come on. Union God. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Okay, Dolly, you get the little risque. I think that's the one I like, but okay, so let's keep this one. Like, yeah. All right. So it's a party. It's a party. And so I could do the same thing. I don't know how many credits I have. But let's try it. Let's do another one. So we'll add a generation frame. This time let's go higher. So let's go, we'll keep some, right? Because we want to keep some to get context so that the generation frame sort of knows what it should be doing. So, oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let's zoom out. And now we'll put the generation frame like this. Boom. And what do we want to do? We want to say extend roof up to second level EJ booth and people dancing laser lights shooting off the roof. Okay. Don't worry, no credits were used by this. I might not have enough credits. It's probably, is it gonna let me do it? Okay, it's loading. Yeah, it's gonna let me do it. Okay, cool. So let's see what we get. Do 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 do. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Okay, now let's zoom in. Let's get cool. Let's get cool with this. Look at this. All of this is made using using AI with our unicorn stripper. And look at this. Look at what it just added on because look at what it did. So the AI, it took in the part that we left. So it took in the style, right? And it used what it already had made in order to generate it so that it produced a very similar style, which I think is just really incredible. And so we can share other options, right? Like that's really cool. That's really cool. Like what a party. I think the first one was actually the dopest. I mean, look at this. Like, what kind of party is this? I don't know, but it's pretty roaring, it looks like. So I could just continue. I could just continue to build off of this. And then whenever I liked it, then I could save it and I could download it right here. Okay. And then boom, you have limitless potential for your capability. And that is by using DALL-E2 AI to create realistic images from text. And I think we can agree that that is realistic. Now, of course, if we zoom way in, then yeah, okay, things break down pretty quickly. But if we, I mean, from this angle, right, you could totally use this and you can keep building off. And again, I haven't spent much time learning how to prompt well, but this is something that you can do. I mean, look, imagine this prompt. Imagine this prompt. Imagine these prompts to make all this. But it's just fascinating. It's a fascinating modern age that we live in. And AI is really going to change the entire face of humanity in the next 10 years, I think before that. And so it's important that you are understanding now what is happening and how you can utilize it. And so we've already covered how Chat-GPT is basically your very own personal assistant that can do amazing things. So here's something I did. Yeah, so right, I set it up. You are the world's most profitable social media marketer. You are also a Twitter expert. Create a Twitter post using high SEO hashtags and keywords, and then boom, it gives me it. And then you just take that, put that in the, and so you have a personal assistant now, a personal assistant that can do almost limitless things. But then when you need images or art, right? Okay, well, then you can use AI over here. And there are tons, really. There's probably already 100 AI platforms that can do similar things. And obviously, I won't have time to go into all. I'm going to go through some, again, like Runway, which I'm going to go into, but others, there's just not enough time. But I encourage you to go and sort of explore to see what there is out there so that you can more quickly start to utilize them to improve your life, to make you more money, to save you time. Because already I am saved, I would, really an hour or 2 hours every day now by all of the mundane, repetitive, trivial tasks that I used to have to do, but that now I can literally just type a prompt and it's done. I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to think about Twitter posts. Okay, just do it, you know? And it even tells me, it even explains why it's doing it. And then I can even ask it, look, so right? Like, do this. It does it. It tells me what it's doing. And then I ask it a question. But why are you including hashtags about SEO and marketing? The hashtag should be high volume related to writing, creativity, friendship. I tell it, I give it critiques, and it tells me I'm absolutely right. So, it's very, very easy to work with in that regard. And thank you for pointing that out. And then it makes it more relevant by including more relevant output. And so it's just incredible. And you can do the same with the DALL-E. I don't have enough credits, but you can do the same with the DALL-E. Do we want to save it? I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Let's just go. Yeah, okay, whatever. And so it keeps my history, but look, and so you can just create limitless art. Now I will say, okay, so I did the original image. Okay, can we look at the original image? I want to show the original image. So I loaded an image of Ashley, her face, the one that y'all are probably used to. So I put the original image in, and then I clicked the variation button, and I said that DALL-E's not very good with faces. And so you can see, right, that DALL-E is not very good. DALL-E's not very good. Oh my goodness, boo. What have they done to you? Oh, honey bun, no. So yeah, be careful. Play around with it, but it's really cool stuff. And so if you have made it this far, wow, I am looking at my boo. She's much prettier than DALL-E has made her. Please, if you have not already, subscribe to our channel. This channel that is going to bring Ashley and her continued monstrous railroading of justice and due process to the world stage so that she can be released and go back into freedom. So if you have not subscribed, please do that. Please encourage other people to do that because as you can see, this channel is going to have multiple podcasts. It's just starting out. There's going to be lots of educational stuff, lots of entertaining stuff. There'll be lots of thought-provoking, different perspectives, but every single piece of content, everything is done with the same express and ultimate objective and goal of bringing more awareness, publicity, and support to Ashley Oosthuizen. So please subscribe, like, comment, share, encourage others to like, follow, do what you can. I will see you on the next episode when we continue looking at how we can utilize AI for audio, which is going to be pretty cool, I think. So we will see you then.